Hi, very good evening to all of you. Hi, this is Souradeep here. Can you please tell me that if I'm audible to all of you? Am I audible? Yeah. So, hi, thanks. Now, to again repeat the purpose of this session, I will just tell you that this is for the StockEdge premium members and our TMP and StockEdge social members included. What happens is that this is a 1 hour session of which first half an hour is taken by me and the next half an hour is taken by Vivek sir. And we discuss about the next week's market outlook in this session. Okay, so we'll start with the Nifty. Here you can see the kind of situation we are having in Nifty. See, the reason the market is stuck here is mainly because of the Russia Ukraine news. Okay, so if you see that overall Russia-Ukraine tussle is going on, possibly there can be an invasion into the Ukrainian territory by the Russia, and all the NATO forces, European and US combined, are trying to actually deter that or trying to confront if there is a invasion of Ukraine by Russia. So things are messy because right now, because powers like UK, USA, and Russia, all these big powers with very sophisticated military equipment are involved, you may see a flare up. Okay, and that is why what is happening is that market is very unsettled right now. Okay, market is very unsettled, and that's why Nifty is just facing a resistance around this point, around, I would say, 17,500, or now it has become 430 or 400 itself, but 17,400 to 500. And if there is a close below 16,800, we, in the case of a war or some kind of a flare up, we can see a fall towards this 15,000, 726, 700 level. Okay, but uh, on the case that we are right now approaching a UP election. Okay, again the UP election is nearing end on 10th, and when 10th we reach the UP end of UP election, based on the electoral results, market may react. I expect if everything is fine globally and BJP wins UP, we may see this 18,500, 19,000. Uh, and if BJP loses UP, I expect market to fall towards this level. Okay, initially towards, as I have told many times, 15,000, and then within couple of months towards this 12,000 level that I expect if BJP loses UP. So things are right now due to that quite volatile, and there can be a correction towards 15,700. But the only thing is that in spite of oil going to 95, in spite of everything, if these levels are being held, then there is a good probability also that market can break on the upside, and as we may consolidate a little bit more in this zone, and as the election results are approaching, we may actually move on the upper side. Okay, now if I talk about Bank Nifty, again I can see a kind of a channel, and possible that if the Russian invasion does not take place and things go well, we can see a move up towards again 40,500, 600, given the election also is election results are also as expected. But if you can see if there is a breakdown, then we may go to 32,000 also. Uh, like 34, 30, 32,000 also if a Russian invasion takes place. And if BJP loses, then probably around these levels. Okay, around these levels of 30,000 or 25,000 we may, but that is far away with 3 weeks baki hai usme. So right now, not having a very clear view of the market, okay, because we are in a range. RSI is also at the middle. In the case of Nifty, also you will find it is just below the midline, but to and fro and doing like this. So there is no clarity in the market. See, every day uh, on some Russia's news, what happens is that market tries to go up, and every day on Russian news, market is sold during the evening point of time. It is, and see, there are gap downs and then big rallies. So market is pretty much confusing. Market is pretty much confusing at this point, that what we want to do, what markets want to do. So even in the global market front also, I will show you that we discuss every week the global scenario. So we'll take up every global aspect one by one. So see again this range boundish behavior in the Dow Jones, and Dow Jones is having a range bound behavior. See this range from last March, okay, 10-11% range. I have not seen in my career of 10-12 years this kind of that index like Dow Jones in a 10-12% range for this long, okay. Because there is liquidity, market is not able to go down, because whenever it comes down someone buys, and because of this all kind of news flows and the inflation data, it cannot go up also. So things are very confusing at this point of time. Near the lower end of the range, or rather lower half of the range, if you see 33,000, it is just 1,000 point here, and on the upside there are 1,500-1,600 points. So behaving like this, closing near the 68% pullback, not at all clear that which direction it is happening, okay. The things that have clear direction are that this is the US bond yield, okay. So expect it to eventually go towards this 3.2, but for right now it can go to 2.1, 2.2 kind of a level. So remains bullish, but again on a weekly basis you can see a doji is being formed until now. Bit confusing. Dollar index has been calm in spite of so many uh, disturbing news on the macro front. See, this is surprising to me. I expected as the bond yield went up above 2%, this actually to move upwards, but this has not been the case. Okay. Another thing which is uh, working only due to the fact that see, this is Zinc future can rally 5% from here, as it has been doing in this channel. The thing that I want to show is gold. Okay, gold has had a breakout again based on this story on what is going on in Ukraine. I don't think it is a very solid breakout. I don't think it can go up very much. See, once there was a breakout of 1880 also, it did not actually fly away, because the Russian news is very, I would say, very noisy news. It is not clearly saying that it will do the invasion. It is sometimes saying pulling back the army, the pulling back the tanks, and sometimes saying the ballistic missile testing would be there. So things are a bit confusing. Okay, so I am not very sure what is going to happen on this case. Only asset class that I right now have a very clear view are two things. Okay, one is uh, let me show in this chart only. So one is the nickel. Again, very difficult for people in India to trade, but nickel has a very strong up move, and possibly we will soon see 2000 kind of a level. I expected, because again due to the Russia, because Russia produces almost 15-20% of the global nickel, and due to the EV push transition to the electric vehicle, nickel is in high demand. It is at lifetime high, and it is possibly going to go much, much higher. Okay. And the world right now has only 10, 11 days of nickel left in their inventory. So again, very difficult for us to in India to us to tell people to trade, because what is happening is that the lot size is close to 45 lakh, 50 lakh. So not many people are having that kind of a capital. So not a point that we can discuss. Other thing is that the crude oil, in which I have a very clear view. And let me explain this thing a little bit. See, right now what you can see is that this is the front month contract. So if I ignore the sudden dip in between, I can draw a very proper trend line. This trend line has been breached. And why has it been breached? Let me tell you. See, this is the expiring contract. The next contract is again near 90 only. Now, 84, 85 is a very strong supportive region, and actually crude oil can come towards this level. Why I am saying this, please understand. Okay, uh, let me go to my Twitter handle 1 second. So yesterday I tweeted this story in oilprice.com. If you see that oilprice.com, they said that oil prices fall as Iran negotiator says deal is closer than ever. So now why out of in spite of being an OPEC member, Iran cannot uh, supply oil to the market or sell oil internationally, is because they are pursuing their nuclear weapon development program in spite of global opposition. Okay, so they are continuing this. Now you know that during the Obama period there was a deal reached with Iran, in which they said that they will limit their nuclear program only for commercial purpose and not for weapon development. And that is the time they were actually allowed to the ban on Iran, or the sanction on Iran, was lifted, and that is the time when Iran was allowed to participate in the OPEC oil sales. Okay, but what happened when Donald Trump came, that he was very at that time very curious about that if Iran was actually going to Iran is actually abiding by all the negotiation terms and conditions. So he actually cancelled the Iran negotiation deal, that pact that has been reached by Obama government. And at that point of time, Iran was cut out of the global oil supply. But what Donald Trump did is that he pressurized the Saudi Arabia to actually produce a lot of oil. Okay, and because he was actually because Saudi Arabia is generally anti-Iran. So because they were putting sanction on Iran, so this is the Trump era. You can see oil prices remain mostly lower. Uh, just one exception was there, this 4 5 months period. But Donald Trump kept the oil prices low by forcing the Saudi Arabia to produce a lot of oil. But now what has happened is that it, in the Biden area, because the US is not producing so much oil, the oil prices have really gone up. Now, now what is the case? Now, if you can see, after this news has come, the oil price was quite high at that point, because I'm showing in daily chart. You may not understand, at that time it was 91 yesterday night only. Okay, if I show you 2 hourly chart, you will understand how things took place. Okay, so you can see just a few hours ago it was 91.50. Okay, in the evening also, and that time when I saw the news, I tweeted also, and I tweeted very clearly that, see, now if the Iranian oil comes into the market, what will happen is that this deal will actually help to cool down the oil prices in 80s. And see, Pakistan also has a nuclear weapon, so it is unlikely that Iran having a nuclear weapon they will be very irresponsible with it. Only thing is that Saudi Arabia will be little threatened, because they don't have very good relations with Iran. So historically they have not have great relations with Iran in the past 100 years, if you see. So they will be feel threatened. But Saudi Arabia can rely on Pakistan to actually help them, and US to help them in case Iran threatens them with nuclear weapon. So nuclear weapon, if they have, it will only be deterrent. Okay, so I don't think Iran would be very irresponsible if they develop a nuclear weapon with it. Even North Korea has it. Many small countries have it, and especially country like Pakistan has it. Okay, so if they are not allowing the nuclear weapons to be fall into uh, irresponsible hands, so I don't think that it will be a great threat. So it is better to cool down the oil prices by allowing Iran with a deal to actually pursue their things also, and pursue the oil prices can come on. And see, after that 91.50 to 87.70, so almost 5% fall happened after the news, and possibly oil can fall towards this 85, 87 level until and unless there is a Ukraine led flare up, because in that case Russia will be uh, involved, and there will be sanctions on Russia, and Russia is the right now the second largest oil producer just after USA. So this is a complicated scenario based on geopolitics, but oil prices cool down and can actually cool down towards this more 5% more. Okay, because this contract will expire today. Next month's contract is at 90, so it can fall towards this 85 5% more, and that will be quite good for equities in general. So this is, and I will again like to show you. See, you, this is the screen of my hourly strategy. Okay, so you can see right now 1 2 3, all system generated trades. These are not manual trades that I taught here. If you go here, okay, so just wanted to show you this week. Mostly I had fever and I was out of the market. Okay, but I was following this thing. So this is the crude oil trading strategies. I will soon conduct a Hindi webinar on this, on the hourly strategy. This was a 3-hour webinar along with fundamental. I will conduct a Hindi webinar with only the most successful strategy and without the fundamental and other strategies in Hindi very soon. Okay, so according to the strategy, see, all system generated trades 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so out of this 11 trades, this one and this one where MCX was closed, because MCX is closed by 11:30, and these two trades happen in the late hours. You can see after MCS close, these trades happen in the late hours. Okay, so these two trades, if you omit because of the things, so there are 7 wins and 2 losses, and per trade gain is almost 4,500, and per trade loss is 3,000. So you can understand the kind of thing this strategy has been doing. So this is completely a system generated thing, not a very I would say manual trading. Okay, so this strategy is doing good. Just wanted to show you. And crude oil generally looks weak and possibly can fall to this 85, and that may actually boost equities. But otherwise, in general, I don't have any uh, particular view about many stocks in equity. Two stocks I would like to discuss. This is a favorite company also because of the legendary Ajim Premji. uh, Actually respect him a lot, but apart from that, the stock is doing good. See, near a very important support, as you can see, this Wipro stock has fallen from a level of 740 to 520. So that is almost 30% correction. And after this 30% correction, and if I drop Fibonacci also, I would pretty sure that it will be around 61.8. See, so it has fallen to 61.8. There is a bullish RSI divergence. Enter in, can enter into this stock once it possibly uh, RSI breaks into the positive territory, or there is a breakout of this, what I would say, of a falling wedge. Possibly, if there is a breakout of this falling wedge, this stock can be considered. So this stock is one stock that looks very good. Another stock that I posted into the StockEdge club also this week. If you see, just a second. This is the stock ideas. So here I had put into the stock ideas this stock. Okay, this is the Prestige Estates. Okay, if you look at the weekly chart, you can see it can have a decent bounce from here. This is a support level around 425. Right now at 445 can go towards. So with a 5% stop loss, with a 20% kind of a outlook, one can approach this stock. This stock looks good to me. Another stock which is very favorite stock of mine is the Asian Paints. Okay, so would like to show, because the crude oil is the almost 60-70% of the raw material cost of the Asian Paints. So if I go for the Asian Paints chart, so you can see this is a kind of uh, movement, bullish RSI divergence. Okay, RSI hidden divergence is there. So this stock is looking good to me. If it holds this 3100 level, can and so either you buy near 3100 or you buy when it reaches above 3300. So no buying in between. Okay, in during, if you buy near 3150 or so, your stop loss is only 50 rupees for a big move. If you buy above 3300, again you with a 50 rupees stop loss, you can look for 600-700 points kind of a, or 400-500-600 points kind of a rally. Okay, so these are stocks which are generally good. And another stock which always looks good in general, just joking, is the Reliance. Okay, see, Reliance is overall consolidating, but this is weekly chart. I think somewhere in, especially if BJP wins UP, uh, there will be a breakout about 25-25.50, and we may possibly see 3000 or 2800, 3000 kind of a level in this stock again. Okay, this is 2800, we may see 3000 kind of a thing. So these are from a medium to long term perspective. Otherwise, I really don't have much view about any other stock. I have gone through lot of charts, and I'm a little bit confused based on the things, how things will do, because I don't know the result of two macro events. One is two event risks. One is the Russia things, and where there will be a war or not, big war, or a small war, and then consolidation of through diplomatic discussion, or because no one wants war today, because everybody has very high sophisticated weapons. So any side who are involved in war will have damages. Why? Because in spite of North Korea being such a small country and having almost one millionth uh, power of USA does not dare to attack North Korea. The only reason is because they have nuclear weapon. Even if one nuclear weapon is dropped in USA, almost, just a second, so almost more than 100K people will, or 500K people will lose life. So no one wants war in these days. So possibly there won't be a war, but let us see what happens. And another is again UP election. I don't know the result itself, but possibly if I know the results, that if there is a loss of BJP, we may see 25 to 30% correction over a period of next 2-3 months. If BJP wins, we may see 7-10% rally in the index. Moreover, this oil coming down is good, but otherwise, not much view on any of the sectors. Would like to show you this thing. You can see since this February peak, all the indices are on the downward mode only. Okay, all the indices are correcting. None of the indices are, these are the auto, pharma, FMCG. The worst this time in the mid cap and small caps are doing. So if you go to the Nifty small and mid cap charts, so going to Nifty small cap 250. So again near the support range in the weekly chart, Nifty mid cap 100. Let me check. Again near the support. Okay, is not breaking down. So really nothing, no breakouts are working except few. So don't try to take breakouts. But things are not very bearish also. If you look at the overall scheme of things, what has market done? Has corrected a little bit and given a close below that, but still from this point of view, how much is this correction? Not a big deal. Okay, market can easily bounce from these things. So not very sure the what the market wants to do. If I show you the global scale, if you see right now CNXIT, and then this index has crossed since COVID bottom, that is the Saudi Arabian index, and that is only because of the oil price. And then is Nasdaq, and then is Nifty from the COVID lows right now. Okay, uh, yeah, from this point. So Nifty and this US 100 and this SASI, that is the Saudi Arabian index, but all other indices, if you can see, are trending little bit downwards, and there is nothing. Okay, and that is why we are trying to trade more through options in the in if I take you just a second. I don't know why it is not opening right now. So so we are trying to trade through options only during the day. So today I gave an option idea of selling a triangle, and that worked out. So we sold the 36,000 and 35,500, I think, and the 38,700 and 36,000, the call and put we both sold, and we sold at around 265 and we booked at around 220. So those small trades are coming, but otherwise no directional things are right now visible. I can take few questions. Vivek sir will be here in 3-4 minutes, but overall things are not. FII selling is being absorbed by no, stock specific question please don't ask, because see, stock specific question, there are 5,000 stocks. So if you ask stock specific question, it cannot be answered. And in spite of FII selling, Indian market has not fallen. Okay, because right now the domestic SIP money is that huge now. This FII sellings does not hamper this much. So if you see, uh, if I see, this is the over the last 4-5 months that the FII have been actually selling. If you see, uh, which is hardly 1,50,000 crores, and now you go through them and you can see that how much they have, when the market was lower, they have infused in the past. So you can really understand whatever they have pulled out, because this has might have become 1 lakh has become 3 lakh crores. So this 1 year's inflow is not even taken out with totally taking all this. So you can understand that this kind of outflow is not hampering. This is cash market SEBI. Sorry, I want to show cash market SEBI. Okay, so yearly you can see only 1.5 lakh thousand. So what they have invested in 2010, 11, only a fraction of that might be combining these three. So not big. If you look at the cash market uh, DII data right now, you can see they how much they are investing on yearly basis. So whatever they have sold, they have invested almost more than that. Okay, they have sold 1 lakh and DII have put in 1 lakh 30,000. So market is not too much bothered about what is happening on the FII front, because this money is real serious money that domestic investors are getting in, and due to the liquidity and due to the income growth over the period of years, things are happening like this, and this will continue. I don't think this will be much big an issue. No sector rotation is happening right now, Vishalji, because right now no sector is moving up. So I personally think that once things are settled, IT may do good, but right now no sector is right now doing good. Okay. How do you look at aluminium, as this is a great shortage globally? See, all metal, if you see, counters are right now in that kind of a scenario only. I'm not a fundamental analyst anymore on the base metals. Okay, so we have Shanando. He may be able to answer better than me. But all metals are at lifetime high. You can see aluminium at lifetime high, zinc at lifetime high. So what is not at lifetime high? Because this shortage is caused uh, due to the COVID. Because once there is COVID, though there is no COVID, not much COVID right now in India, but COVID is still there in the other parts of the world, and almost 10,000 people are dying every day. So if there is some infection in a mine, the mine gets shut down, and due to this supply chain disruptions, all this kind of metals have gone at any places. Zinc, nickel, all are right now having a much of a shortage, and all are moving at a life high. This has Australia much way to go, but the lots are so large, cannot do anything about it. So we'll hand it over to Vivek sir right now. Vivek sir, hi sir. Are you
Hi, good
here?
evening. Hi, good evening. Can you hear
Good
me?
evening, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Very good.
Please.
Very good evening.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Friday evening, and here we are again, weekend analysis. Good to connect with you guys again. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing reasonably well, and the market is also doing reasonably good. Is it so? Market is not doing good, particularly for people who are swing traders. Market is definitely, uh, uh, I mean, as expected, market is not doing great because market has done great in last 2 years, and this year is going to be tough, which is pretty much evident, and which we anyways realized because dollar is showing all kind of actions. Huh? So, but it's a very short-term pain. Definitely, I'm sure that people who have come late into the party, they are witnessing some position-based losses. So I'm going to discuss today something very important. Okay, so watch till the end, and I'm going to discuss for another say 20 minutes or so, because I have a very important call at 7. So I just need to prepare for that call. So I'll take the session till 6:55. Um, so let me just share the screen with you guys. So screen of monitor 2. All right. So can you please confirm if you are able to see my screen? Okay, thank you, Jugal, Pradeep, Rakesh, Ninad. Fantastic, thank you. Thank you so much. So I have two screens in front of me, so you can see my webcam as well as the screen. So what's happening with the market right now? So let's see क्या चल रहा है. Market के बारे में जानना है तो we obviously have to look at dollar index. So what's happening with the dollar index? Look at this idiot, just staying there, not doing much. कुछ कर नहीं रहा है. And that's where the most of the confusion is happening globally. Yield curve going up, then going down a bit, still very positive, and dollar going up. So this is still, the confusion still remains that market is not sure where to go. US Fed has clearly communicated कि मार्च में तो interest rate बढ़ के आ गई, Now the question is that whether it's going to be 50 basis point or more than that. Now that has bring in a lot of uncertainty into the market. So market is going to remain like this, I think, for some more time. Uncertain, may give pockets of opportunities, but those opportunities will be very short-lived. But yes, this is a time to prepare for probably next big move. And very honestly, I'm not expecting a next big move on the downside, because अगर मार्केट को गिरना होता ना, एग्रेसिवली फॉल करना होता तो कर दिया होता. But ये market, because market is staying here in a range, this is clear reflection ki market is waiting to give a major upside move. Now, when will that move come? ये नहीं पता किसी को भी, but definitely dollar is going to drive that move. So we all have to be very patient with this market. और इस market के अंदर में हम बहुत ज्यादा एग्रेसिव पोजीशंस नहीं ले सकते हैं. एंड वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट इट. इफ यू हैव बीन अटेंडिंग दिस फ्राइडे सेशन, हम लोग बात कर ही रहे हैं कि मार्केट बहुत बहुत अजीब सा जोन में चल रहा है. एंड मेकिंग अ क्लियर कट डायरेक्शन अबाउट द मार्केट इज नॉट पॉसिबल अभी. ठीक है, तो करना हमको वही है जो हम कई सालों से कर रहे हैं कि स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टॉक्स मिलता है तो उसके अंदर में पोजीशंस लेना ही है, और जो स्टॉक्स हमारे वीक हो रहे हैं उसमें से एग्जिट करते जाना है. And please don't shy away from booking losses. I've been telling this in all public forums कि लॉस जो जितना समझदारी से बुक करेगा वो उतना मार्केट में लंबा चल पाएगा. तो this is still intact. I have started also looking at intraday, a bit of intraday levels in the market. So I'm tracking Nifty and Bank Nifty just to identify कि कुछ intraday में कुछ पैटर्न समझ में आ रहा है क्या कि मार्केट का रिवर्सल का. If you are trading options, I think it's a decently good market because I'm expecting market to break इधर या इधर. तो options के अंदर में trade करने वालों के लिए ठीक है, but because I trade predominantly cash swing, so these are not favorable market situations for people like us. Okay, but it's okay. We know the art of booking loss and riding on to the better horse. So वो हम continuously करते जा रहे हैं. This is Nifty 15-minute chart, and this is Bank Nifty 15-minute chart with 21 period moving average and 55 period moving average. ये मैंने क्यों लगा रखा है? इससे मुझे एक इंडिकेशन मिल रहा है कि मार्केट किस लेवल के ऊपर ब्रेकआउट दे सकता है. तो अभी मार्केट का कोई मूड नहीं है ब्रेकआउट देने का. तो दिस इज जस्ट बिकॉज आई एम ऑल्सो लुकिंग एट द मार्केट ऑन इंट्राडे. आई एम नॉट ट्रेडिंग इंट्राडे, बट जस्ट टू गेट द फील ऑफ द मार्केट कि अभी is there any moonshot which I can find out in the market. It's not happening there right now. तो अभी क्या करें मार्केट के अंदर में? सो बेस्ट टाइम टू प्रिपेयर इज टू मेक अ लिस्ट ऑफ स्टॉक्स अभी जिनमें किसी तरह का एक्शन आ सकता है मार्केट में, स्पेशली व्हेन मार्केट गोज अप. मे बी we can figure out how do we participate in those stocks. So figuring out the list of stocks would be a very good idea right now. So कुछ स्कैन्स है बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है जिसको आप यूज कर सकते हैं. सबसे I mean the one scan which obviously people like to use is the 52-week breakout scan. So all these stocks which are within 52-week high zone, these are the stocks which are still strong stocks, right? और मार्केट अगर रिकवर करेगा तो सबसे पहले इनके बढ़ने की प्रोबेबिलिटी ज्यादा है. तो आई विल डेफिनेटली कीप देम ऑन माय बाइंग रडार एज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टॉक. ओके, you can obviously create your own combination. So one of the combination which I want people to take care of is any company, any stock where there is good financial performance. And I've repeated this multiple forum, and I'm going to say this again and again, that any stock where company has given better financial performance and there is a strong price action. So this is the scan which you should definitely look at stocks out of these scans. So what are the parameters I've used? Stock outperforming benchmark index in both 1 week and 3 months. So basically my theory of relative strength which I started, first theory of relative strength was कि अगर कोई भी stock एक हफ्ते और 3 महीने के लिए strong होता है, मतलब बेंचमार्क इंडेक्स को आउटपरफॉर्म करता है, तो टिपिकली स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टॉक में माना जाता है. Stocks where there is improved return on equity, improved return on capital employed, quarterly net profit growth is there, quarterly EBITDA growth is there, and high increase in quarterly sales is there. So if I look at those stocks and if I filter this to only current period means that only it will consider only stocks which have shown latest results, which is basically the December quarter results. तो अगर हम इसको consider करें and I press apply, so these are the stocks which are actually good stocks. और मार्केट में जब भी रिकवरी आएगी इन स्टॉक्स पे मेरे को फोकस रखना है. ओके, एंड दीज आर परफेक्ट मैच. And then there are stocks which are almost there, which is like maybe even if it's not one parameter matching, they are still good stocks to track. Okay, so what do? I download the Excel, and you guys know that now when you download the Excel, we have given you कॉमा लगा के एक कॉलम हमने इंसर्ट कर दिया है. So all of you who have been using this feature, now you don't have to put an effort. Okay, you can see this Excel. I'll just push the Excel there. Yeah. So all those people who have been, जो मैंने पहले बताया था कि आप कॉलम में इंसर्ट करके फिर एक कॉमा ऐड कीजिए. Now you don't have to get bothered about it because we have already given you this symbol with comma. Okay, so all you need to do is then copy this list of stocks. Okay, copy and go to your trading view and make a list, this FIPA list. Okay, so let me delete this list, old list, and let me add here. All right, so basically these are the stocks where financial performance is better and the stocks are showing strength. Okay, so now your universe to participate in the market should be ideally these stocks. Okay, and because whenever market recovers, these stocks will have higher propensity to give you faster recovery, because business wise also these stocks are performing well. Why am I getting a feedback that screen is not visible? Can you please confirm if you guys are able to see the screen? Yeah, I'm getting confirmation from almost everyone that they can see the screen. Okay, yeah, so let me repeat this. So you go to StockEdge and you already have access to StockEdge. So आप अपना combination create कर लीजिए, FIPA combination which I have created. You can create your own combinations. This combination has so many parameters. I can add more parameters to reduce the stocks. For example, if suppose I add one more parameter, price action 52-week breakout and close within 52-week high zone. Basically 52-week high के 15% के अंदर में अगर क्लोज है तो वो स्टॉक मुझे दिखाओ, तो वो भी मैंने एक ऐड कर लिया. Then obviously my number of stocks will reduce considerably. Okay, so I can do that. As you add more parameters, your number of stocks will reduce. So in case you want to only track limited number of stocks, you can use this. So let us use this. So इसको डाउनलोड करते हैं. Okay, so you see these are the stocks. So what I was saying that कॉमा करके हमने लास्ट कॉलम एक यहाँ पर इंसर्ट कर दिया है. तो all you need to do is just copy and go to trading view again. So now I've reduced stocks. So number of stocks I've reduced considerably. So let me just delete all these. 86 हटा दे, अभी ऐड कर लेते हैं. Okay, fantastic. So now we have limited stocks. How many stocks do we have? 30 stocks only. So maybe you just have to track these 30 stocks. Mahindra and Mahindra का कुछ I think symbol issue है. Mahindra and Mahindra. Yeah. So these are the stocks which now I have to look at. And in case there is any opportunity, I will invest in this stock or I will use this for my swing trading. Now, there is one small change which I highlighted last time also, which I have made is that I have added 21 period RS as well on EOD basis. Sorry, I'm looking at this side because my monitor is this side, but I think you are seeing me looking at that side. So I'm sorry about it. Uh, Nonetheless, so this 21 period I have added recently. Why I added this? Because what was happening, this 2 hourly chart was giving me exit, but it was giving me false exit. So when it was exiting, वापस से वो RS स्ट्रॉन्ग हो रहा था और उस समय मैं पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर पा रहा था, तो मैंने एक फिल्टर डाल दिया कि अगर ईओडी 21 पीरियड भी रेड हो रहा है और 2 आवरली भी रेड हो रहा है, देन आई विल एग्जिट, अदरवाइज आई विल नॉट एग्जिट. सिमिलरली एंट्री के लिए भी अब मैं इसको यूज कर रहा हूं कि इफ 21 पीरियड इज पॉजिटिव and 2 hourly is also positive, then I will try to enter for a longer swing, and for shorter swing I can obviously enter with a 2 hourly strength also. तो लेट अस सी ऑल दी स्टॉक्स और किसमें अभी हमको अपॉर्चुनिटी दिख रही है. तो पहले जो प्लस वाले स्टॉक्स है उनको देख लेते हैं. सो दिस इज अ स्टॉक आईएलजी इक्विपमेंट. सो दिस इज स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टॉक. ओके, अब इसके अंदर में हमको धीरे धीरे अपना पोजीशन बिल्ड करना पड़ेगा. दिस इज नॉट द मार्केट टू बिल्ड पोजीशन इन वन गो इन एनी स्टॉक बिकॉज प्राइस नीचे जा सकते हैं. मेंटली प्रिपेयर रहना पड़ेगा, बट एट द सेम टाइम यू डोंट वांट टू लूज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी बाय नॉट बिल्डिंग द पोजीशन. तो ये एक इंटरेस्टिंग स्टॉक है जिसपे हम धीरे धीरे पोजीशन बिल्ड कर सकते हैं छोटी क्वांटिटी से. फिर उसके बाद है आईएफएल वेल्थ. आईएफएल वेल्थ भी देखिए 55 में पॉजिटिव, 21 में पॉजिटिव और 2 आवरली के अंदर में भी पॉजिटिव है. तो इट्स अ स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टॉक ओनली, सो वी डोंट हैव टू वरी. यहाँ पर भी हम बिल्ड कर सकते हैं पोजीशन को. सो लेट अस कलर कोड दिस टू green. Okay, blue dart. So blue dart right now it's in a negative zone, although it may have outperformed in as far as chart is concerned. See, it has outperformed, but because ये अपने मूविंग एवरेजेस के नीचे भी है और अंडर परफॉर्म कर रहा मार्केट को, तो मैं थोड़ा सा केयरफुल रहूंगा, अभी इसमें काम नहीं करूंगा. टाटा एलेक्सी, this looks interesting even though the price has come down. This is a classic case. See what is happening. 2 hourly chart mein RS has gone below zero and super trend is also negative, so ideally I should not get in. But this 2 hourly chart, this RS 21, this is still above zero. That means on a daily basis the stock is not showing weakness, but on a 2 hourly basis there is a clear cut weakness which is happening in this stock. So what do? I will wait for this 2 hourly to become RS become positive, and then I will start building the position. So this is a stock which I will track. I will not put money immediately, but I will track. Saregama. So Saregama 55 period is positive, but 21 period is still below zero, and 2 hourly is still below zero. So I will avoid getting into this stock. Polyplex. Polyplex is interesting. So yes, I will look at this stock. Coromandel. This is also positive, so I will look at this stock. Always remember that the fact that your entry point and your stop loss should have most efficient risk reward ratio. If you are using price as a stop loss, if you are using indicator as a stop loss, so obviously you want to ride for a longer time frame. But look at this stock. This is a fantastic stock where your risk reward ratio is so favorable. Most of the moving averages are converging here. The price is already trading above those big moving averages. Price is showing strength. So this is a stock which definitely you should build small positions. So Coromandel is one which you have to look at. TCS, it's trying to show the strength. Again, the same thing. Look at this above moving averages, strength. 21 period is almost strong and 2 hourly is strong. So yes, this is a stock which I have to look at. Uflex, great, fantastic. So let's keep it on a positive radar. IOC, reasonably well. I mean, it can be seen in a positive, but it's just there. It's not almost there. It's just there. So maybe I will I will skip this because ultimately I have to select only few stocks, right? This is great. Adani Green is great. Positive and lot of action there. Kajaria Ceramic. So this is classic case. See, 21 period RS is below zero, and this is also negative. So I will avoid this. It 55 period may be positive, but I will avoid this because short-term momentum is also not favorable right now. Tanla, by the way, I'm also looking at RSI parallelly, huh? Subconscious, I'm looking at it. It's not that RSI is helping me to decide, but at least the stock should have higher momentum. That means RSI should be 50, above 50, for me to be convincing that yes, this stock has a momentum and there is a possibility of the stock going up. Tanla is again, it's in a mix of giving a good movement. Maybe it will not give a good movement next week. Uh, it's almost there. So maybe we'll have to hold on and see how much time it takes. Not at all. Absolutely not. CDSL. See, the problem with this stock is the classic case that sell 21 period is also sell and RS55 is also sell. So this is a stock where fundamentally it may be a very good stock because LIC IPO is coming, but in terms of strength and momentum, this is becoming a weak stock. So either you make a very strong fundamental view on this stock and just forget it, keep on doing SIP, or if you're playing momentum, then obviously you have to sell now and you have to re-enter once the momentum re-emerges. Avas, strong, not bad. BSC, strong. BSC is looking so strong. Look at this stock. Infosys, Infosys looking weaker vis-a-vis TCS. So I will definitely not look at Infosys. In fact, one of the pair trade which can be executed by looking at this is buy TCS, sell Infosys. Looking at this purely. Comments. Reasonably okay. GNFC. Reasonably okay. Mahindra and Mahindra. Not really convincing. It's almost there. Price action wise, still a strong action wise, it's strong, but I have other options which are better than this. Vedanta, fantastic. Price action wise, good, but risk reward ratio wise, not good at all. Maybe the stock should come closer to these levels. Like the previous swing high was here, high was here, high was here. So maybe if the stock is available around these levels, 361, it's actually available around these levels. So with a small stop loss, one can make an attempt in this stock. Yeah. Sniger, good. Need a correction, maybe around these levels. It's a good time to buy. This is a market for retracement trades. This is not the market for aggressive breakout trades because market has become quite dicey. So if market falls, then you probably have to get into a stock which is showing strength and which is available at its support zone. So let me just press green here. Nalco, looking good. Jindal Steel. So this stock has just become a weak stock. 2 hourly also negative, and this has also become weak. So we'll have to exit the stock. ONGC, not bad. We can look at it. Jindal Hisar. So you see all these metal counters, they have suddenly become weak. They were very strong, but suddenly these stocks have become weak. So they have to show strength to continue with the momentum. So this stock also needs to be exited. KPR Mill may be good stock fundamentally, but right now it lacks momentum. So we'll have to see when the momentum emerges. Lakshmi machine. So today it went down and it has given sell signal also. So again, we'll have to wait before the buying emerges. And GSFC. So this is a good stock. So these are the stocks where fundamentally quarter performance wise, these stocks have done well and there is a decent price action. So now we will have to see the green list. Now next week, we will observe these green list stocks. Oh, just a minute. Torrent Power, I think it was part of the previous green list. So I need to remove this. Suni Chemical, Sumito Chemical is okay. Fine Organics. Yeah. So these are the stocks which I need to look at for next week. And maybe I'll have to focus on only these stocks because market, if at all recovers, chances is that there'll be fast recovery in these stocks. And if market stays here or goes down, probably these stocks will not fall as much as probably the other stocks in the market. So that's what we can do best, and we can just pray that market works in our favor. But definitely not a great market to be in. A lot of trades are getting booked, which is fine. I mean, we have to live with that. And if you want uh, to build your long-term portfolio, I think still there is a lot of fundamental stocks available with a reasonable PE, which you can look at to build your long-term portfolio. And how you can look at that? So if you go to equity scans, fundamental, you see there is something called valuation scans and price earning multiple. So stocks which are low PE, okay, for example, Motilal Oswal, which is trading at a 9.5 PE, which is quite low PE, right? And if financial inclusion theme is intact, then this stock cannot be an underperformer, right, for long. Until unless we see there is some extraordinary item here. So let's see. Is there any extraordinary item? There is no extraordinary item. Company sales has gone up and PAT has also gone up. Significantly, PAT has gone up. So the PE uh, is actually is a trailing PE. So it comprises of last 4-quarter PAT. So why the PE is low? Because last 2 quarter has been phenomenally well. So maybe market is not expecting that coming few quarters will be good, but possibly it can be good. So Motilal Oswal is a stock which is available at low P. So point is ki combine this low P data with profitability data and see whether there is any company which is available at a reasonable price and which is still showing a growth. And then probably you would like to do a long-term investing framework in those stocks. There's an example group में JK paper. And this is the last example which I'll take. So JK paper, PE is 7.9. And let us see the results, annual result. Sorry, let us go to financials and see the profitability and see if there is any extraordinary item. So sales growth is there, yes. And PAT is also growing and there is no exception item. This is great. So why won't I buy JK paper for long-term target? Okay, not for short-term, but for long-term. So these are the things probably which you will need to look at if you are building a long-term portfolio. And if you are doing a momentum trading, then obviously strong stock and weak stock theory works the best in momentum. All right, guys, thank you so much for, I hope you find this session useful. And I hope you will continue to learn, because this is a good phase to learn. Go back to basics, learn, read some books. I'm sure that you will emerge as a winner in the market like we all do in long term. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. In case you need to connect with me, just email me at vivek@stockage.com. I'll be happy to connect if you at all feel that you need something from me. Thank you. Bye-bye.